Good morning and welcome back to another episode of the weekly deal analysis here in the Corner Barn. I am Chris Thompson, that bearded guy, the creative guy. Each and every week, I jump on here, pick a random house off the internet, analyze it for a cash deal and a creative deal. Let's get into it. This week, we are staying in the great state of South Carolina, but we are traveling over to North Charleston. We are looking at 7945 Timber Creek Lane, Apartment E, uh, North Charleston, South Carolina, 29418. So this thing, I typically don't like condos, but it seems like a pretty good deal to analyze. I don't know. Hopefully you do too. So let's take a look at this thing. All right, so we'll look at the pictures first because it seems pretty. Not a ton of curb appeal, so I think that's kind of working against itself. Nice little pond out back, but no grass or anything. Nothing crazy, good or bad. Just looks like a plain old, plain old condo. Functional, but just plain. This bush right here definitely needs to be cut back. Full community, bigger pond. Oh, same pond, just a different angle. All right, so there's really nothing special about this place, but it seems like a pretty good deal to try to analyze. It is a two bedroom, two bath, 934 square feet. They are currently asking $185,000, and they just had a price cut a few days ago of $4,000. Oh, they have been on the market for 237 days. So clearly, whatever it is that they're chasing, it ain't working. Motivated seller. Maybe. Upstairs condo with open floor. Cards. All right. So this is one thing that I really don't like about real estate agents. That doesn't tell me anything. Doesn't tell me anything about the bedrooms, doesn't tell me anything about the last time anything was updated. Any special features? Now, we already looked at the pictures, and there's really nothing special about this. But as a realtor, I don't know, you gotta spice it up some. Um, let's see, what else can we find in here? All right, so it doesn't tell us what the condo fees are, but it seems pretty basic. So we're just gonna make a number up when we get there so we can work it into our analysis. All right, so Zillow's saying it's worth 183.8, but I'm not seeing it. Um, look at this steep decline. Yeah. All right, so let's see, 185, 189, 195. This thing is also for rent, and it doesn't look like that's working out for him either. Maybe a fresh coat of paint and some new flooring in there could be what it takes to push him over the edge, but we don't know. Did they pay for this? Okay, so they bought this in 2021 for $158,000. Now, 2021, that was pretty much the height of the market. In November, it was kind of already starting to come down a little bit. Everything had cooled. And so I'm going to say it's worth what they paid for it because it doesn't really look like they've done anything on the inside. So, you know what? I like round numbers. Let's use 160. 160,000 is going to be our ARV or after repair value. So 160,000 ARV. Sorry, just taking some notes. What else can we find in here? And also, that time in 2021, they probably got a really good interest rate. So I think this could be a great sub two deal, but we'll see. All right, so there's another one for sale at 214. Let's look at that one, see how long that's been on. All right, so that's only been on for 40 days. Pretty much everything else is the same. Pink, I don't get it. All right, so this one is a lot nicer. Um, Nothing super fancy or super different. It's literally the same dimensions on everything. There's just some nicer finishes in it. I mean, it's more update, feels a little more homey with the furniture in there, but yeah, nothing crazy different there. And that's been on at 214 for quite a while. Hmm. And some couple sales in here, 200, 205. These have to be older. Sale 194, 60. Did I just call that? I said 160, didn't I? I did. Let's look at this one. Two bedroom, one bath. And what else? Ooh, this one was flooded. See, you can see right here. That's called a flood cut for those of you who don't know. Oh yeah. Yeah. This only went for 160. It's only one bathroom as well, a little bit smaller. What can I try to read out of here, insight wise? And here's why I like this area. See right here, Joint Base Charleston. So heavy military area always makes for good rental properties. How fast did this sell? No, this was back in 2023, so it's not even a good number. Yeah, I'm sticking with my 160 ARV on this thing, at least this subject unit. All right, so we've seen everything we can see in here. So let's jump over to the Invest Nest to see how we break this thing down. If you are into analyzing, it's a tough one to say. I recommend checking out the Invest Nest. It's super user friendly. It's very inexpensive. And if you're starting out, I think it's a great platform to jump into versus your prop streams and your privies. They're phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, but they are for, I would say, higher level investors. But I like this for the one-offs, and here's why. Gives you a lot of great detail. So they paid 185, or excuse me, 158. I don't think the current market value is right there either, but let's keep rolling. Owner details. If you want to skip trace, you don't have to go to a separate service for it. They include it in here. It's included in the monthly price. I believe it's 15 bucks a month. If you use my code, Chris Thompson Real Estate at checkout, you'll get half off your first month, bringing it down to like 7 or 8 bucks. Try it out. Finance details. What else we can find in here? Taxes seem high, especially for a condo. Mortgage, yeah, we know what they paid for it. Location, Charleston County. Loading 85. All right, let's analyze this thing. So we're gonna call this Timbercreek. And Zillow's calling it apartment E, so we'll call it apartment E. All right. So our purchase price, and as you know, on a cash deal, we are going to offer 70% of ARV. So if our ARV is 160, I'm going to pull up my calculator because I can't do math in my head. Times 70% is 112. All right. So that's going to be my cash price. 2 points towards closing, 2 points towards my hard money lender. We definitely need to put some improvements in this thing. I'm going to say 10 grand. 10 grand should spruce things up, kind of liven it up, fresh coat of paint, new flooring. There's probably not much else after that, but those little things go a long way. I use that with my retail clients. I call it my fix and list program. So if you don't know, I am a realtor as well, and I use my fix and list program. I'll bring the contractors in. I will finance it if I need to. We'll take a down payment, and I'll take the rest at closing. Um, Obviously, there is a finance charge for that. So if you have the cash, I'll still bring the crews, all that fun stuff. But it's been a program that I've used for 5 years now. It's phenomenal. Interest rates, I haven't paid much attention to them lately, but let's just call this 7.25, 20% down to a 30-year loan. And so we got our 10K in improvements, 112 purchase price. All right, so they're saying the rental income could be 1533. What does our HUD guide say? 1600. I always like to check the HUD website. If you follow me at all, you know I always check the HUD website just to see what Section 8 was willing to pay for something like this. I'll make sure the links are below for all of the stuff on here. All right, so they're saying 1600, and they rarely ever pay that full amount. So let's do the 1533 and see how our numbers play out. Property taxes are high. Wow. Management fee is going to be 10%. Water and sewer, that's going to be covered in our HOA fee. So I think we're going to call our HOA dues. We're going to call it $100 a month. I'm going to write that down so that I can translate that stuff through. So we have 10K in reno and 100 in. All right. But the gas, electric, and is going to be on our tenant. War chest, maintenance and repairs, vacancy, CapEx. We're going to come in and spend 10 grand to renovate this thing. So I think 5% is totally fine on this stuff. Appreciation, rent increases, hold it for 10. What do we? Real estate investors. What don't we do? Pay a full commission. Check it out. So even burning the price that much, we're only looking at not even $100 a month for $36,500 out of pocket. Not a great deal on a cash thing. Cash on cash return is only a little over 3%. Your ROI is going to be pushing 12%. So it's not bad. It's just that the fees eat everything up. So if this was not a condo and we're basing it off of $100 a month, then it would be a better deal overall, but I still don't think it's going to be a great cash deal. So this breaks down our insurance is probably a little high, but I'd rather leave it high. Condo dues, property taxes, 242 a month, management fee, our war chest funds. How does this break out? I mean, it's not a great cash deal. I mean, you're 10 years in before you even consider a 10% cash on cash return. To me, it's not a good deal. All right. So we've broken everything down with the invest as. Now the fun part. Let's do this thing creatively. This is my creative calculator. You can go on my website, christhompsonteam.com. You can download my calculator, my creative deal analysis, and even my contract. Use them, love them, enjoy them. Call me if you have questions. All right, so we're saying our ARV is going to be 160,000. 160, not. There we go. All right, so based on that, on a creative deal, we're always going to offer a good bit more. So let's see if we can try to make this work at 145,000. And let's look at a 2% interest rate. All right, so now I'm going to go over to Bankrate because they have a great calculator. And then we said our purchase price is going to be 145. Yes, 145. We're only going to put 5% down. Our interest rate is going to be, let's say 2 points. Yep, 2%. And our zip code is 29418. And our property taxes, this thing's way off. What did the invest say it was? 240. I'm going to round up 243. Property tax is 243 a month. Homeowners, $100 a month. The HOA, we said, well, it's going to be $100. So we don't need to add that into the calculator because it's coming through in basically our mortgage payment. All right. So our PITI plus HOA, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, and HOA is going to be that $952 per month. So our PITI is $952, and our potential rents are, what was that, 1533, was it? Yep, 1533. 1533. All right. So by offering more with a whole lot better interest rate, now this may not be such a bad deal. But we got to finish going through with the numbers. So our war chest, 15%, 555 management fee. Net cash flow is going to be just under $200 a month. So our 5% down on our seller financed was 7250. 7250. Agent commissions, there's really nothing in this, and clearly the agent's not getting it done. We're going to offer him $500. Closing costs, I'm averaging because we would offer to pay both sides of this. So I have it at 3.6%. Cost of renovations, we said was going to be 10 grand. Holding cost, 2 months of the PITI plus HOA. Rears, there are none. A good TC is going to cost you $1,000. So for $25,000, almost $26,000, you can make $200 a month. 10-year ROI, oh well, almost 11 years. Still not a great deal, but if you need any of the appreciation, depreciation, basically any of the tax stuff, this might be a good property. Or if you want a house hack. So it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So if I buy this to go live in and find a roommate to say, pay me $800 a month, considering the rent we would look to charge is $1,533. So I could almost live for free. House hacking is a great way to potentially do that. All right. So it's not the greatest cash deal. Well, it's actually not a great cash deal at all. And it's not a great creative deal either. So what did you think about the breakdown of this property, cash or creative. 7945 Timbercreek Lane, Unit E in North Charleston, South Carolina. We broke everything down. Cash deal at that price, even way burnt below even what we think ARV is. Still not a good deal. Creative deal, it got better, but it's still, for me personally, a longer time to get the funds back. If you're looking to house hack, it could be perfect for you. So that does it here for us on this week's episode of the weekly deal analysis here in the Corner Barn. I am Chris Thompson, that bearded guy, the creative guy. We'll see you next week.